I like to start my seeds in late May so there's no danger of frost. In these 20-gallon gray containers with soil, I planted all of my seeds. So in early June, most of the seeds have come up. This is loofah. This container has winter melon. This one is mini kabocha. This container has Malabar spinach. And the last container has okra. So if you look at all the containers, the germination rate is actually different. For the okra, probably about 90% of the okra seeds germinated and came up. The Malabar spinach, probably less than 50% of the seeds that I planted came up. The mini kabocha, probably all of them came up. The winter melon, maybe 60% of the seeds germinated and came up. And the loofah, 95%. So in another week or two, I'll transfer these transplants to my 55-gallon half-cut barrels. So now it's the middle of June, and what I do is I'll dig up all the transplants in clusters so I can transfer them and plant them in the half-cut plastic barrels, 55-gallon barrels that I cut in half and set up where I planted the Charleston Gray watermelons last year. After I'm done digging up all the transplants, I'll arrange and plant the transplant clusters in a triangle. The reason why I do this to all the transplants in the plastic containers is because I'm going to be putting a wire cage in the middle, or tomato cages, so the transplants could climb up. I'm going to be building a wooden arbor and trellis for them to climb up even further later on in the season. Mostly all the transplants that I started are all climbing plants other than the okra. I will also be adding some buttercup squash and mango melon. There are many benefits why I grow plants in containers, plastic containers. The biggest benefit is that there's not a lot of weeds that grow in the containers, and if they do grow, I can easily pull them out, but for the most part, I don't have to weed. Secondly, I can concentrate my organic fertilizer when I side dress the plants. Lastly, the raised bed containers hold moisture better than planting in the ground. So with the loofah, the winter melon, and the Malabar spinach, I plant them the same way as the mini kabocha. I put them, or the clusters of transplants, in a triangle so I could put wire cages and or tomato cages in the middle for them to climb up. And this is the start of my arbor that I'm building so the plants could climb up. Most of the wood that I use to build my arbor or trellis are scrap wood that I find around the property. So in early July, the plants look like they're doing good. They're starting to climb the wire cages and tomato cages that I put in the middle. So this is the loofah, and I had some extras, so I planted some in black plastic pots. The ginger is not coming up yet, but the lemongrass, the stalks, they look like they're doing pretty good. they're starting to split. The okra, I planted them also in a triangle. They're doing pretty good as well. Once they get bigger, I will stake them up. And the old man decided to plant, these are cucumber melons. I'll talk more about those in a different video. These are the kabocha, mini kabocha squash. I'll make another update video when I'm finished building my arbor and trellis.